Alright, so I told everybody earlier I was going to go ahead and shoot a video showing the difference between the original 2600 version of Pac-Man and Pac-Man 4K. I mean, as you all probably well know and everything, the 2600 version of Pac-Man, which I will demonstrate right here, this came out in the early 1980s, when at the time, realistically, this was the only home version of Pac-Man. Of course, when Pac-Man came out back in the early 1980s, it was either you're going to play, pop quarters in the arcade, or you're going to play it at home. And of course, everybody was clamoring for, being able to play Pac-Man at home. But the 2600 version of Pac-Man turned out to be a colossal dud. It was nowhere close to being arcade perfect. And of course, this is one of those games that does often get cited as part of the video game crash of 1983. And if anything, this probably deserves more of the hate than E.T. does. And so of course that's the original version of Pac-Man, and then of course here is Pac-Man 4K, which is a homebrew game that came out a couple of years ago. And of course the programmer used the exact same hardware limitations, as virtually every other 2600 game, and was able to create a much more faithful Atari 2600 home experience of Pac-Man. And so I'm shooting this video here to illustrate the difference between the two games. So first off, we're going to do the original 2600 version of Pac-Man. And I apologize for the quality. I'm shooting this on my iPhone. So, as you can see, this is the original 2600 version of Pac-Man. Alright? And then, so you can see, this doesn't look anything remotely close to the arcade version. Alright? So, I'm just going to briefly play it here. And of course, the ghosts have no, they don't follow the same patterns. The scoring's not even close. The sound effects are not even the same. I mean, these sound effects are probably the same stock sound effects you hear in most TV shows when you see people playing video games. And even then, even by 1982 standards, this was a really half-assed experience. And of course, this is one of the reasons why people felt so cheated, and understandably so. This is, again, nowhere close to being like the arcade experience. And I'll probably play here till I lose a life, whatever. Then I'll cut this off, whatever, and swap out, and you'll see the difference. You know what? Let's kill it with a score of 703, because after all, that's the zip code. That's the area code I live in. Yeah, Virginia represent. So now I'm going to pop in Pac-Man 4K, and you will see a dramatic difference. Look right away. I mean, do you see this? I mean, the map looks, the board looks just like you would see in the arcade. The ghosts are all their respective colors, whatever. They follow the similar behavior patterns of the original ghosts and everything. I gotta admit, this demo mode and everything, this demo Pac-Man is really stupid. But you know what? Let's start this up and everything, and you'll really start to see the difference. I mean, right there, like I said, it has the original opening music. I mean, how great is that? Even with that really old Atari 2600 sound chip and everything. Despite its limitations, I mean, like I said, look at this. It's a much better experience, much more fluid. I mean, like I said, the 2600 joystick is really responsive here. So, like I said, this is, again, a much, much, much better overall experience. This is the experience that everybody wanted back in 1981 that we should have gotten. This is what happens when I get cocky. See, the board flashes everything when you complete it and everything. And you see now down in the corner here, like I said, now we're going for the strawberry on the second level. And of course, as you can see, the speed picks up and everything. The ghosts get a little smarter. The power pellets don't last as long. Again, this is a much, much truer arcade experience. Like I said, so you can see why this is realistically the version that we should have had all the way back in like 1981. You know, so in many respects, yeah, this may feel like, almost like 25 years too late and everything, or at least 20 years too late. Actually, 30 years too late. Let me actually learn to do some math here. And you can see, again, this is the experience that everybody wanted to have back in the 1980s that we didn't get. Of course, like I said, since then, arcade perfect versions have come out on various consoles and everything, both, home console and handhelds over the years. And so, I mean, yes, there are other ways to play Pac-Man and everything at home, but there is a bit of a nostalgia value that comes from playing Pac-Man on a 2600. And like I said, and if you're an old school enthusiast like I am and everything, I mean, this really is a treat. I would highly recommend anybody who, if you own a 2600, I would highly recommend picking this up. Because it really is a fantastic experience. Like I said, I bought this game from Atari Age, who they do sell like homebrews like these and like ROM hacks and everything, and actually physically put them on cartridges so you can play them on a 2600 instead of just downloading the ROM somewhere and playing on an emulator like Stella. Excuse me. So if you really want to have a much truer 2600 experience, they are the place to go to and everything. I can't say enough good things about them. So I hope you appreciated this video. I hope you really liked what you saw here and saw the differences between the two. And so yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up and everything. And y'all have yourselves a wonderful day.